In celebration of my 100th video, which I uploaded last weekend, I decided to do something a little different. I gathered up all of the American transistor radio makers' first pocket-sized transistor radios, at least the ones that I have. For instance, I'm missing Raytheon's first pocket-sized radio. But I think I've got a pretty good collection here. This one on the top here is the Admiral 7M14, which came out around Christmas 1956. Below that is the DeWalt K44A, which also came out in '56. This radio here is the Emerson 849. Emerson produced a 2-transistor 3-tube radio before this one, which came out in 1955. But this is the first true all-transistor pocket radio from them. And that came out in 1956. Here's the RCA 7BT9J, which came out in 1955. This model is pretty rare. It uses 3 Texas Instruments RF transistors and 3 RCA audio transistors. This is the Philco T7-126 from 1956. This model also came in red, which is much less common than the white and black version here. Here's Zenith's first, the Royal 500, and it was introduced in 1955. This is the so-called Owl Eyes set. I'm sure you can see why. This is the Motorola 56T1. It's a 5-transistor set. This example is not in great shape and doesn't work, unfortunately. This is the General Electric 676 from 1955. It's a 5-transistor set that takes a strange 13-volt battery, which you can't get anymore. And below that is the Sonora 610 from 1956, which, as you can see, is in many ways a rip-off of the RCA set. Below that is the Tom Thumb TT600. This is not a true all-transistor set. It's a 2-transistor 3-tube radio, despite proclaiming transistor radio on the front there. This is also a very rare set, so I'm glad to have this one, even though it doesn't work. This is the Westinghouse 588P7 from 1957. Westinghouse was a little late to the game. They also introduced a large lunchbox set in the same year. And here's the Arvin 8576. Arvin was also a little late to the pocket radio game, although they had a large cloth-covered wood set the year before. Now this radio here is the first transistor radio in the world, the Regency TR1. This particular example is pretty late production, probably one of the very last ones to come off of the assembly line. It's from early 1956. By then this 4-transistor set was pretty obsolete. In the back here we have Roland's first arguably pocket-sized transistor radio, the TW6. They produced this set before that. The I believe TR6 was the model number of this one. And that set came out, this set here came out in 1958. This is the first and only Buick branded transistor radio meant to plug into a socket on the Buick car, and it was built in 1959 for their 1960 model year. This is Magnavox's first transistor radio, the AM2, and it's a very early example of that. One of the first off of their production line. The earliest ones have this metal strip here that says all transistor. And that's from 1956. This one does work very well, actually. I'll put up a video of that sometime. Below that is a Sentinel radio. As you can see, it's basically the same as a Magnavox. Magnavox produced it for them, also in 1956. Both of these radios have a hand-wired metal chassis. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Not all of these radios work. In fact, probably most of them don't. So that's why I don't have videos up of them. But of the ones that do, I will, put up a video at some point.